Howdy, 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 all you cool cats and kittens. Welcome back to the fantasy world where you can fix the planet and make it better. That's right. We're doing Planet Crafter again. And look at this beautiful lake that Berkeley has made for us. Our initial landing craft is now completely submerged, along with some of our original creations down there I can see hanging out under the
Yeah, I
water.
guess we probably should have grabbed those before they were totally underwater. Machines don't work anymore when they're underwater. But that's okay. They're pretty minor. Sorry, I'm distracted because I realized that we say we're still streaming Redactyl. So let me just get that fixed for the
Uh,
people.
Fixed it.
Oh, that was quick. Nice.
I thought I fixed it earlier, but there was one button I didn't press. So
Ah, I see.
that's on me. My
Jared, I've
O2
been
doesn't seem to be going down while I'm out here. Is that a new feature?
um mine
Oh,
is.
now it is. For a second, it was just sitting there. Interesting.
Maybe it was just wafting from the house fast enough.
There you go. You discovered the
I
T4 drill. That's exciting.
Yeah. Uh, we all did. That was from. Let's see. Probably. Oh, what was that from? T4 drill. That's because our heat hit. I don't know, 40 mu K or whatever that is.
Micro Kelvin.
Sure. Microkelvin is not a lot. I'm gonna say
No.
it. Anything less than a million microkelvin, a little chilly. Maybe 10 million microkelvin.
So I think like 0 degrees Celsius is 273 degrees Kelvin. So you would probably want like 300 degrees Kelvin for it to be like a very comfortable day. That actually would probably be a little hot. You probably want like 290-ish
Okay, so
Kelvin.
not a million microkelvin. We're thinking like 300,000,
Well,
two hundred fifty
a
thousand.
million microkelvin would be, because micro is 1 times 10 to the negative 6. So a million microkelvin would be 1 Kelvin. So you
Oh,
really need 295 million microkelvin.
okay. Well, we're not quite there. Not quite there.
Maybe one day.
Who knows? Maybe we're not human, you know? Maybe we're cockroaches with fewer limbs.
That's true. That's what the K stands for, is cockroach.
This cockroach.
Berkeley, thank you for upgrading this car. I finally feel like I'm having some good off-roading time with the boys.
You're so welcome.
I guess I still have to breathe oxygen though. Otherwise,
That is true.
I
We're
die.
getting kind of close. Um, so at some point in the game, sorry if this is a spoiler, at some point we'll have like little oxygen filters that like slow down the rate that you consume oxygen. Like presumably you're getting some from the atmosphere and then some from the oxygen tank on your back.
Yeah,
And then after that, you just like won't use the oxygen tank at all.
very cool.
So that is coming. Just slowly. So, agenda for today. Every good stream needs an agenda, right?
That is right.
That's
Of
what I've heard.
course.
That's what the cool kids are saying. We have been making lots of cool stuff. Oh, we made jetpacks. I forgot to be using my jetpack. We've been making some cool stuff, but we've been neglecting our biomass. So, biomass is one of the like key measurements of the planet that we're terraforming. And so it's all the plants and later the bugs and the animals that we have, and we've been neglecting it. So we're gonna work on that today. I think there was maybe one other thing. I don't remember.
I think last time we were trying to get some uranium, but I don't remember why we were getting uranium.
Oh, so we need a lot of uranium for all of the like nuclear generators that we're using at this stage of the game. Um, and it's just kind of hard to get, and if you run out, that's a bummer because you can't do much if you're out of energy. So we're trying to keep that doing well. I think off stream I got us a little more uranium, but we could definitely use more. I can start working on that.
Okay.
Unless you want to. It's just like making a rocket.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that.
Sweet.
Whoa. I just found some very fancy seeds.
Ooh, love fancy seeds. And uranium. I'm over here talking about rockets. You're just finding it in boxes on the ground.
That's how all good people find their uranium. The government doesn't want you to know this, but 99% of the world's uranium supply can be found in boxes on the ground if you know where to look. Probably just got us on a watch list somewhere. Just some trigger words there.
I mean, it depends on your definition of box and on the ground. You know, like
True.
what is the Pentagon if not a box on the ground? You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. Any structure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess the Pentagon would be a... Is a Pentagon a box? I don't know.
Not inherently, but boxes can certainly be pentagons. I stand by it.
All right. I respect that.
Jared, I've been playing a lot of similar games with slightly different controls, and it is messing with me.
Yeah, that's the worst.
I've been playing a lot of Satisfactory, and I've been playing a lot of Minecraft, and the way that you sprint in those 3 games is just different enough that driving me a little bananas.
I play a couple of different shooter type games, and the controls are mostly identical, except for like some of the crouch and sprint controls. And it always takes me a good 30 minutes to really switch between those consistently. So I empathize.
Ooh, Chance asks about Satisfactory. Yes, thank you for asking so I can go on a long spiel. I love Satisfactory so much. I'm out of water. Yeah, so Satisfactory has a lot of kind of similar mechanics to this. You're like exploring a planet, building machines to automate things, gather resources, stuff like that. Satisfactory has a lot more emphasis on the automation part and less on the survival part. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So I'm playing with a few college friends. We've got a server together, and then I started a playthrough on my own as well. And they've been very different experiences, and I'm enjoying them both. The one on my own is starting to feel a little bit slow, and I'm still pretty early game. I think the farther in you get, the more kind of grindy the game can be, depending on like what things you're focusing on, and maybe just depending on like how good you are at the game.
Relatable.
So I'm a little nervous about that. The server that I'm playing on with my friends, it's tough because it moves like so fast that like if I miss a week and people are playing without me, I come back and it's like, oh wow, you replaced our whole coal energy system with a oil energy system. This is crazy. I don't know how anything works anymore. There's 15 new pieces of equipment that I need to make and learn how to use. But yeah, they've both been super fun. I really recommend Satisfactory, especially if like watching this game, or if you've played Planet Crafter. If that seems like your jam, I think Satisfactory is probably pretty similar. I will try to leave it at that, unless you have specific questions. But I could talk about it the whole night.
What's the graphical style? Is it reminiscent of anything else that we might have played?
Pretty similar to this, honestly, but like higher production value, I would say. Just everything's like a little more polished. Looks a little bit nicer and newer, but like the same like artistic style as this, I would say.
Okay.
It's also got a you've got like a computer program that's like feeding you instructions as you go. She like narrates the whole tutorial, and then when you unlock new technologies, she like says a little blurb about them. And that character Ada feels straight out of Portal 2. She's like very sassy, but in like a matter of fact way. Yesterday when I was playing, I unlocked a new technology and it said, "Congratulations for reaching the new phase. You've earned a micro break. Welcome back from your micro break." Stuff like that all the time. It's great.
Berkeley, didn't you work at a place that tried to make you take micro breaks?
I don't remember that.
I have some memory of you
Maybe.
telling me about having to take micro breaks and me thinking that that might have been the dumbest thing I'd ever heard of.
That's really funny. Yeah, I don't remember that. I believe you, but I don't remember it.
I mean, I think is back in your pick and place real loading days. So it's probably good that you blocked it out.
Jared, we haven't found any mushroom seeds yet, have we?
I just found one. Yeah.
Oh,
it's
sweet.
in the seed overflow area.
Cool. We are going to need that for making plastic. Okay, Chance Dev agrees. He says that you are a product of the corporation. That's all your value is. Yep. When you take damage in the world, a little pop-up that comes up that says, "Fix it, property damage detected."
That's
not
awesome.
what I want to hear when I've taken a blow to the head.
I'm going to the optometrist tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And I should tell my boss that I'm out of the office to fix property damage.
There we go. This is asset maximization for the company.
I love how the jetpack lets me pretend to actually climb the ladders instead of teleporting to the top by clicking on them. Wait, did I have... Oh, yep, okay. I forgot to craft the last super alloy that I would need. I grabbed all the stuff, but I just didn't click the button.
Oof.
Which is maybe the lamest way to fail.
All right, we're gonna have a little problem with this biomass stuff. I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but yeah, we need plastic to make more algae generators, and we're out of plastic, and we're out of the ingredients for plastic. And by out of the ingredients for plastic, I mean we're growing our very first one right now. So
I have a bioplast nugget I wasn't sure what to do with. Would that be useful to you?
Yep, that is it. That's the one. When I say plastic, I mean bioplastic nugget. That's just a long name, you know.
It is an annoying name. How do I give it to you?
You can just go into your inventory and then push the little drop button. Thanks.
I just dropped that nugget right on the floor. Oh, sounds like our uranium delivery's here. And it's hitting the cliff, and all the stuff's going to be up on the cliff.
Oh, no.
Oh, there's one I can get to. Isn't there a... Did you say there's an achievement for getting hit by one of these asteroids?
Yep.
Meteorites, I suppose?
Sure is.
This is a lot harder than it looked like from my initial glance at asteroid trajectories.
Right? When you're trying to not get hit, it seems scary, but then when you're trying to get hit, it's like, come on, throw me a bone. Throw me a big bone-shaped meteor or
Throw
asteroid.
me, throw me a meteor right through me, please.
Got that uranium fever.
Oh, I'm gonna be
Um,
singing that for the next week.
One of my coworkers told me to don't go chasing waterfalls this morning, and then for the next 4 hours, I had waterfalls stuck in my head.
That's rough. I
He
have
was
a,
saying it jokingly, for the record.
I have a question for you, Berkeley. There's a
Yeah.
big lump of glowing green rock here that seems like
Mhm.
we might be able to process it into uranium. Is that
No,
okay?
that's just
Graphical.
that's just part of the yeah.
Okay.
Um, Chance Dev sounds. You've played Satisfactory. Have you beaten it? I'm curious if you have any thoughts on like more perspective on the game since I've only played the first like maybe third of the game twice. And Jared, I think that the asteroids come down centered on the launch pad. So if we wanted
Okay.
to move the launch pad to a more like flat area, that might give us better luck at like not having to climb up cliffs to get that good uranium.
That would make sense. All right. Well, I think we got a lot more this time than we did with our prior call-in. So that's nice.
Sweet.
I'm talking about it as if we went on Uber Eats and ordered a uranium drop off.
Yeah, one uranium, please. Scratch that, as much uranium as you can fit in your pocket.
But don't give it to me in your pocket. I'd like it in a box on the ground if possible.
All my homies got their uranium from a box on the ground. Okay,
Right.
Chance says that he took a break after unlocking the space elevator. Cool. That's like the end of kind of the end of the tutorial. You're kind of just always learning in that game. We didn't make a lot of progress. We should probably pick it up again, but there's a list of other games we have to finish first. That's so real. So many games. I've been getting into Minecraft again, and it is weird because I take so much pride in racking up my Steam hours, and Minecraft doesn't give me that. And so when I play, it's like, this game is fun, but what about my Steam hours? Very silly concern to have.
I think there's a way to launch Minecraft from Steam. You can add it to Steam's
Whoa.
list. I don't know if that would add hour tracking or not, but you know, if you really got to have the Steam hours, that might be one way to achieve that.
I did not know about that. Yeah, I'll have to give that a shot. Chance asked the same thing.
I have crashed the car into the lake, and apparently that's fine.
If you ever do get it well and truly stuck, you can just go to the place where we built it and recall it. You can do that once every 10 minutes. Oh, or you can spam F4.
Does that mean that if I'm driving it, you could recall me immediately?
Should we try it?
Yeah. Why not?
Okay.
If you're not busy.
I'm just picking up algae from the lake. I've truly returned to my roots here.
That's yeah, when I met you, that's what you're doing.
I actually do have a strong memory of us collecting plant matter from a gutter one time
Yep.
early on in our friendship.
Yeah.
That was when I came to hang out at your house, though. That was your idea.
Well, I was very into the kind of running around in the woods that weren't really woods, but they were woods to us as kids. And
I,
yeah.
I do remember you frequently saying it's giving Tom Sawyer.
Did I say it? That feels like a
Yeah.
very modern vernacular. Not the
No,
Tom
you were
Sawyer
saying
bit.
that.
Really? All right.
Yeah, in 2003, you kept saying it's giving. No one knew what you're talking about.
Well, I've
Okay,
showed them. Yeah, go ahead.
are you ready to be recalled?
Yeah, recall me.
Recalled like a Toyota airbag. Let's go.
Roasted.
Roasted.
Hey, look, a treasure.
Looks like it's not working.
Okay.
Pushing the button and nothing's happening.
I'm about to get out of the vehicle. If you recall it without me in it, I will definitely die out here.
Could be fun. Just kidding. I won't do that.
Okay, I'm back in the vehicle and I am returning to a safe distance. It seems to me that you can only recall it if it's empty.
Okay.
I
guess
just
you could
realized
probably.
I missed my
Okay.
chance to do the if I take one more step, this will be the farthest from home I've ever been meme. Oh, I can't use my oxygen when I'm inside the vehicle. That's interesting.
That feels like an oversight, honestly.
I don't think that we should have oxygen being used while I'm in the vehicle either, you know? It looks pretty airtight to me.
Yeah.
Well, mods, if you're watching this, or not mods, game devs, if you're watching this stream, that's my recommendation to you. Please make the vehicle not consume my oxygen. I realize that that would give me basically unlimited time to do whatever I wanted in the vehicle, which is really all men really want. Oh no.
Meg says even vehicles need to breathe, Jared. OMG. Susie says get it on developers. I know I've brought this up before. I'm pretty sure that there's 2 game developers and they're married to each other and probably in Europe. So
They're probably
I'll
on
just slam that they're
vacation until
watching.
2026, enjoying their high quality of life.
they all got time off for the American election.
Oh,
Okay. For a T2 biodome, we need fertilizer and bacteria samples, which we don't have, but I think we can make in the biolab. Yeah, we can.
you know how
Cool.
the Martian makes fertilizer and bacteria samples.
I sure do.
It's poop. For those of you not in
Yeah.
on the joke.
Meg asks, is iridium a real thing? Why do so many video games have it? Get original. When I saw it in the second game, the first time I saw it was in Stardew Valley. I don't remember the second time I saw it, but I remember thinking, come on, don't rip off Stardew Valley. And the third time I saw it, I thought maybe Stardew Valley didn't invent this.
So iridium is an element. Its symbol is IR and its atomic number is 77. Would you like to guess what color it is, Berkeley?
Please say purple.
Incorrect. It is a silver white metal. It looks kind of like aluminum or steel. Other fun facts include that it becomes ductile and can be worked at a white heat from 1200 degrees to 1500 degrees Celsius. and it is one of the densest terrestrial substances. In the massive state, the metal is practically insoluble in acids and is not attacked even by Aqua Regia. I
Is the
don't know much
massive
about
state
chemistry.
is the massive state what scientists call Alaska?
Yeah, thank you for doing that instead of a your mom joke.
I would never. That's not my brand.
We're classy and respectful over at SVTIR. Unless you're Meg, and then I'm not that respectful if you're Meg, but everybody else.
Oh, chat is going through some mourning right now about the color of iridium. This is the worst news I've heard maybe all week. It is, yeah, it's purple in Stardew Valley, and that's the best. And then it's green in this game, and that's the second best. Silver, not on the list of bests.
Silver is a boring color unless you're like from the Stone Age, and then maybe it's cool for you. Oh, what is this? A land of acidic fog?
Oh yeah, that's where you can get some sulfur. Yeah, so when we started the game, there were a bunch of areas of there was like ice in a lot of man, why can't I talk? There's ice in a lot of like natural caves and doorways. And as the game progresses, that ice melts, unlocking new areas of the map. Plus the car helps.
The car absolutely helps.
Meg is upset and says that she's going back to her fantasy dress-up game.
I don't regret that. I'm sure that you'll create some of the most classy and genteel outfits of all time. I will say that the one thing that I really did love about I have the memory of a 70-year-old man. What is the game that everybody's been so excited about since last year?
Baldur's Gate?
Thank you. Baldur's Gate. The character creator in that game is incredible. It's one of the coolest I've ever used, and definitely looked way better than anything I've ever used.
Facts.
So, if you're into playing fantasy dress up, that is one of the best ways to do it.
Meg says that she's actually not doing that specific fantasy dress-up game, but that the character creator in that is amazing.
Oh, well, sorry I pigeonholed you into Baldur's Gate.
She says she's probably logged 20 hours alone in the character creator. I saw some great Reddit posts about people claiming that they had spent 50 hours in Baldur's Gate, and the story was a little lacking, but the visuals were stunning. And now that they're out of the character creator, they're really excited to see where it goes next. It's a great bit. Meg is announcing that she has moved on from Baldur's Gate after logging 900 hours in it in a year. 14 months, maybe. It's a true fan.
That's
We
pretty
can all
good
aspire
hours.
to that.
Yeah. Did you just play out every single thing that you were interested in playing out within the game, or did you find something that was better crafted and more interesting?
Susie Moo has over 1,000 hours. Incredible.
Wow. Berkeley, where should I be putting these bioplast nuggets that I find?
I'll make a chest for them over here in the between the biolab and the biodome.
Okay.
Or you can just stick them in the overflow.
Did you guys see that they're making a new Tron movie?
What?
Yeah, my brother sent me a text the other day, and I was excited until I opened the text and saw that it's starring Jared Leto. Leto. I don't know how you
What?
say his name.
Why would they do that?
I don't know, but I'm immediately disappointed.
You can put plastic in there.
Thank you. Anyways, he has a reputation for being a jerk, one, but two, he also has a reputation for not being a very good actor. And you can be a jerk and a good actor and make good films, but you cannot be a jerk and a bad actor and make good films. I guess just being a bad actor in general means you're not going to make good films.
Yeah, that's kind of a wild choice. I don't know how he's getting work.
I don't know either. I do kind of hope that Daft Punk comes back for the soundtrack because I think the soundtrack to that movie is one of the greatest soundtracks of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So, for their sake, I hope that it does well enough that it gets made and the soundtrack gets made.
All right, at this point, I think we're gonna want to put all of our mushrooms and squash and eggplants. We're gonna want to use those all as crafting materials. So
Okay.
try to just eat beans.
Okay.
That's the super healthy new diet.
There is a song about that.
About just eating beans?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I see where you're going. Okay. Got a lake water collector we can build now. Nope, takes 3 bioplastic nuggets. Cool, cool, cool.
All right. Mushroom seeds go over in the biodome now.
Let's just put them straight in a food grower, I think. You can swap out one of the bean ones.
Okay. That's it, beans. You're coming with me.
Have you been reading or playing anything good?
Let's see. Did I already talk about the Alexei Navalny book that I read?
Yes, that's the Ukrainian journalist, right?
Um, no. But
Oh dear.
I won't fault you because I think I talked about 2 books, and one of them was uh, written by a Ukrainian journalist. So, okay, so I think the last 2 books I talked about were an account of a guy who's fighting with the Ukrainian Marines at Mariupol, ended up being part of the siege and then captured. and his experiences, and then one about Volodymyr Zelensky, who's the president of Ukraine, and his rise to power and kind of Ukraine's history as a whole. So I read another book called, I'm pretty sure it's called Patriot, by Alexei Navalny, who is a Russian dissident who was poisoned using a chemical weapon of mass destruction on an airline flight inside Russia, and Germany intervened and managed to get his body from a Russian hospital before he could be fully allowed to die, and then they saved his life. And after he finished his recovery in Germany, he decided to go back to Russia, even though it was a death sentence, because he was a believer in standing up for what's right in his country. And so it just kind of talks about his upbringing. It's a memoir written by him and includes the diary that he kept while he was incarcerated after returning to Russia, and runs all the way up until his death in Russian custody, believed to be caused by poisoning. And yeah, it's a really good book. I wouldn't recommend reading the whole thing unless you're interested in the experience of a political prisoner in Russia, because it can be a little bit mundane in the diary section of the book. It is really insightful otherwise, and I think the first half is really, really important for people to understand about how the Russian government works and how widespread and destructive the corruption that they have going on there and that they are promoting in other parts of the world is. So yeah, I'd recommend it. Let me double check the title. I'm pretty sure it's called Patriot, by Alexei Navalny, the guy who was killed. Yep, Patriot. That's the title.
Cool.
How about you, Berkeley? Anything interesting on your plate?
I've been reading a collection of short stories that I got for Christmas. It's just from like a variety of authors from a variety of countries and a variety of centuries, and it's been fun. I read Cask of Amontillado for the first time.
Oh, nice.
There was one by, I can't remember the author's name anymore. He wrote Rip Van Winkle.
Yeah.
Like a American author around the time of the Revolutionary War. He wrote this interesting one where this rich guy was showing all his friends the Fountain of Youth, or like letting them drink water from the Fountain of Youth, except he didn't tell them that the effects only lasted for 30 minutes, and they kind of went crazy when they turned young and then regretted it when they turned to their normal ages again.
Huh.
Anyway, yeah, just a bunch of fun. Washington Irving. Thank you, Meg. Anyway, yeah, there's just like a lot of fun, wacky short stories out there.
Yeah, that's super neat. I think that there's a lot to be said for the cultural impact of stuff like that. Like Rip Van Winkle is a great example of that, where and maybe you could extend that to the fairy tale works of Hans Christian Andersen. Like, not lengthy stories, but really culturally impactful for whatever reason.
Yeah, Rip Van Winkle for sure had like a big cultural imprint. the thing that surprises me when it's authors like Charlotte Bronte, Mark Twain, Mary Shelley, these like really famous authors who have like really um popular novels just write the weirdest short stories. It's like it's an opportunity for them to just get weird, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, Charlotte Bronte, she's the author of Jane Eyre. Her sister wrote Wuthering Heights. Um, she had a short story that was just about Napoleon Bonaparte sleepwalking into a noble woman's gala. Um, oh yeah, Meg points out Roald Dahl.
Yeah, true.
I'm reading one by Mark Twain right now where it's like an apprentice journalist meeting with the editor of his newspaper, and like the whole time they're trying to have a meeting, people like every 5 minutes someone throws a brick through his window or lights his house on fire or stuff, and they're just both super nonchalant about it. It's hilarious. Um
That's incredible.
okay. I foolishly came out here without oxygen, and now I'm gonna build I'm moving our launch pad out here. Hopefully
Okay.
that's okay.
Yeah. I think you asked me to do that, and then I said, yeah, sounds good, and then
Uh
didn't.
I think I just asked if you're okay with the plan. Um, yeah, Roald Dahl has the crazy one. It's what remind me what it is though. I haven't actually read it. I've just heard of it.
Oh, he's written several. There's one where there's this kid who like decides to mix all the medicine in his home together, and it gives him superpowers. Um, Man, I've read a bunch of these, but I don't remember all of them. There's one where somebody essentially invents like a typewriter that will automatically generate stories,
Hmm.
and it's kind of like a precursor to a critique of AI today. I'm trying to remember what else.
Barmer says Henry Sugar or Henry Cigar. I don't know how to pronounce that.
I think
Is
it's
that an
Henry
author?
Sugar.
Okay.
No, I think that's one of the stories that Roald Dahl wrote.
Oh, gotcha. Thanks.
Yeah.
Cask of Amontillado had this hilarious moment that I had never heard of. So this is a story where a guy gets annoyed at his friend, and so he like glues him into a brick wall to
As you
death,
do.
as you do. That's how Jared and I settle all of our disagreements. Luckily, we both have anti-brick measures prepared at all times, so we can get our way out of it.
That's right.
At one point, the victim of this murder starts making like wild hand gestures, and then the narrator slash perpetrator of the murder says, "What are you doing?" And the victim says, "Oh, I'm a Mason. Aren't you a Mason?" Obviously talking about Freemasonry.
Oh yeah.
And the narrator says, "Yeah, of course I'm a Mason." And the victim asks him to give a sign that he's a Mason. And so he just pulls out like his masonry tools. And then they move on with their lives.
That's
Well,
great.
one of them moves on to his death.
Which, was part of his
Very funny
life
moment.
until he was dead.
Yeah, that's true. All
I've,
right.
I've entered a maze. This is
Oh, fun.
interesting.
Oh, I love that area. Jared, I found a fuse. Fuses are super cool. You put them in there's a machine called a machine optimizer. And if you put a fuse in there, it'll like add a multiplier to all the nearby machines of a certain type. So the one I found
Wow.
was a heat multiplier. So I think it does like a 10x maybe on all the heaters around it.
Okay.
I don't know if we've actually unlocked or machine optimizers yet, but when we do, we've got a fuse. They've got them for oxygen, heat, pressure, and then the most useful ones are for energy. Because doing 10x on like a few generators, just game changing.
True. I wonder why they thought a fuse would do that.
That's fair.
That's, I mean, just an interesting insight into the psychology of the developers. They probably thought, what's a component that we can have do something? And they said, ah, yes, we haven't used a fuse yet. Let's do
Yeah,
that. And there you go. It's good that works. If I jump into the lake water, will it refill my hydration?
not yet, but eventually we'll get a little water filter that will do that.
Okay.
Or maybe you have to stand next to the lake and drink it out of your cupped hand.
My favorite thing to do when I'm in a lake is to drink mouthfuls of raw lake water.
Well, you got a mouth filter, so
Well,
it's fine.
these smart spacemen do. I myself am just straight lake water, or if it's the ocean water.
Oh yeah, that's flavor.
And what's the flavor? Salt and fish urine.
Salt and
Delicious. Like which just brings up the ocean is soup argument once again. I'm pretty sure Hank Green or whichever of the Green brothers, they're the same to me, did about the ocean being soup.
Yeah, I think that was Hank. And more interesting to me than the ocean is soup debate is the what's the dead body to water ratio that you're willing to swim in?
Yeah, that's fair. I think it depends on if I'm dead or not. If I'm dead,
Well,
then
I think once you're dead, you're quite willing for just about anything,
right? It becomes much easier to palate a high ratio. But
right.
As a living person, I think if decomposition hasn't started yet, I could be convinced that for my survival, a swimming pool with one dead body in it might be doable. Just because if decomposition hasn't started yet, then you're less likely to have bad microbial juices going around. Yeah, I don't know. When I was a kid, we had a jacuzzi that was broken when we bought this house. And we would sometimes swim in it in the summer as like a tiny version of a swimming pool. But I don't know where they were coming from. There were always gigantic dead spiders in it, floating in it. And like lots of them. And so instead of just not using it, which is what adult me would do, kid me made a game of trying to scoop the spiders away from us without actually removing them from the jacuzzi. I don't know why we wouldn't just get a net and take them out. We had one, but adult me really doesn't like being in the water with dead things that might touch me. So it would have to be such a high ratio that I wouldn't be able to see the dead thing and it wouldn't be able to touch me.
Did you happen to pick up a bunch of uranium and iridium?
I got some uranium and some... Wow, I just combined those. Some uranium, some iridium. I have not actually run into a crash site for either yet. So that will be my next trick.
I just launched a few rockets and did not get as much as I hoped for, but we'll get by. At some point here, we should actually let me just check the wiki. We should be able to use ore extractors to get uranium and iridium fairly soon.
Berkeley, which screen do I need to look at to unlock a microchip? Here we go. I got it.
Cool.
Being able to passively mine those resources will be huge. I'm very excited for that.
Yes, me too. We can already do iridium. I don't know where we're not doing that. Let's start today. And then with the
Look
T2
at you
ore
all
extractor, we can get
motivated.
uranium. Yeah, man. Fired up. I'm tired of the way that things have been.
I saw a meme. I don't know if this really counts as a meme. Somebody was saying that their French boyfriend was looking at the election results and came up to them and was asking, like, this happened and they're not burning things? How do they expect to fix this? And I thought it was funny.
Saw that as well. I love that.
So, just I feel like it's the same spirit. We can build the iridium thing. We're gonna do it right now. Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
if
cool.
there were any municipal buildings nearby, I would absolutely set them on fire instead.
But since there's not, we have to settle for.
Since the two of us constitute the government of this planet, we can either Cask of Amontillado our problems away, or we can build ore extractors.
I really want to know what doofus came up with the idea that a government could have a president and a prime minister. I think that is so lame.
Does France do that?
I don't know if France does that, but Russia absolutely does.
Oh, well, yeah. Russia also has elections TM.
That's the best way to put it.
Okay, do you want to come check out where these ore extractors will be?
Definitely.
You know that cave that has the sand fall?
Yes.
Over it? That's where they'll be. Oh, I think some of the asteroids came in here, actually. That's funny.
How? That's very cool. Okay. I'm in the cave with the sandfall. I am driving up the little side ramp here.
Sweet. I am building 2 ore extractors.
Oh wow, there is some uranium just right there.
Man, when am I gonna learn to bring oxygen with me everywhere I go? Maybe never. Maybe I'll never learn.
I brought 2 waters and 0 oxygen. You're in good company.
I rewatched a movie over the weekend that is like I'm trying to turn it into my personal cult classic, but I feel like I need at least a couple friends who have also seen it. You know how families will have that one weird movie that they adore?
Yes.
I'm trying to turn this into that, except I have not successfully gotten anyone to watch it with me yet. It's called Leningrad Cowboys Go America.
Okay.
It's by this Eastern European director. It's about this Russian band this like rural Russian band that the Russian producers aren't interested in their music, but they tell them to go to America because Americans will buy anything. And then they just try to have this music career in America. And it's almost as funny as like Monty Python, except the humor style is just a little bit different because it's not from an American director. I guess Monty Python's also not an American director. And like it's a little slower paced, um, which can be rough for a comedy. But like the jokes are so
hairstyle has
funny.
me sold. The hair is just
Are
incredible.
you looking at pictures?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Everyone should look at pictures. I'll send some in the Discord later too. The jokes are so funny. The like cinematography is really interesting. It's a pretty low budget movie, but every shot is framed like a Renaissance painting. There's not a lot of action. It's a lot of like stills or almost stills of people just doing weird things or having little conversations. But the framing of each shot is very deliberate and I would say very beautiful. And then the jokes are just so good. Leningrad Cowboys, Go America. If you can find a copy somehow, I recommend it. And if you watch it, please tell me so that I can know people that watch it. It was given to me by a coworker at like a White Elephant gift exchange, and so now it's part of my personal lore. I'm trying to make this movie my whole personality.
This coworker deserves a medal.
Mm-hmm.
It looks truly epic. Okay, the good news is that I have started finding lots of uranium and iridium from the asteroids.
Cool. I wonder why I missed it before. I was looking.
It's kind of far away from the tower. There seems to be quite a bit of dispersion.
Yeah, this hill that we live on is getting quite green.
Yeah, it's seeming less and less likely that the car is going to be able to make it up such a verdant area.
We could build a ramp if we get worried.
Do you know if they actually take into account stuff like that when they calculate the friction coefficient?
I doubt it.
Okay.
Can I take the car for a spin?
Oh, absolutely. Let me grab the rest of the uranium out of the back, though.
I'm gone. Just kidding.
Okay, you are free. I release you. Whee! Look at him go.
That's what those ghosts said when Aragorn said, "I release you."
Wee wee!
I'm pretty sure that was in the movie.
I saw some post on the Lord of the Rings subreddit the other day saying that in the book, the ghosts aren't visible to anybody and they can't actually physically harm anyone, and it's just fear that wins the battle. And that didn't quite sit right with me, because if you're fighting an army that's literally controlled by ghosts anyways, they're probably not going to be scared enough of ghosts that zero violence drives them away. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
Yeah, that seems like some sort of moral that JRR was trying to put in there.
Berkeley, we have so much uranium now that we can't fit it all in one locker anymore.
Nice. We can turn it into uranium bars.
I will do
take
this.
nine of them to that aquarium-looking crafting table. Oh no, I'm not as skilled of a driver as you and cannot make it up this hill. Oh no, we got it.
Yeah, you can do this. Never let them tell you what you can and can't do. And by them, I mean the game devs. Whoa, you just shot into the air on my screen. That was awesome. All right.
When I was playing off stream, I unlocked the thing that put a beacon on the car so that you can always see where it is. I was hoping it would let me name the beacon so I could call it where the car is to match, or where the heart is beacon.
That would have been peak comedy.
Unfortunately, cannot name the car beacon.
Devs, you have another item to add to your list. Okay, well, Berkeley, as we say goodnight to our loyal minions, is there anything you want me to show them? Any view or vista?
Let's come check out the T2 biodome.
For some reason, I thought I could fly there on the outside, but that was a bad idea and impossible.
Yeah, we didn't put a door on this side.
Whoa. Look at that.
Yeah, we're making trees. And if you click on the screens on either side, we're making some tree bark. We can use that for ingredients later.
Okay, like cinnamon type of like cooking ingredients?
Not cooking ingredients, crafting ingredients. You use it to make some of the like I think we'll use it to make like a little terrarium where we can grow insects, stuff like that.
Where will we get the insects?
Well, you know how like once a planet gets a certain amount of grass growing, you just start finding maggots everywhere. They recreated that in this game as well.
He just spawned from the dirt instantaneously.
Yeah.
All right. Very cool.
And just wait until we make a satellite full of bees.
Oh no.
You're going to love that.
This are you sure that this isn't a horror game? This sounds like a horror game.
Well, the satellite full of bees makes all of your insect generating machines more efficient, so it's quite delightful.
Wow. Truly, science is beyond the comprehension of a lowly engineer like me. Awesome. Well, this has been super fun, and thanks everybody for coming out and chatting with us. It's always fun to hang out with you guys, and if you are watching this for the first time, whether you're on YouTube or here on Twitch with us, check out the link in our description or the about section of our Twitch page. It'll take you some places. One of them is our Instagram. The other is our Discord, where we share music, books, random thoughts, and sometimes we get on and stream together and play collaborative games with groups. So join up there if you want to hang out with us. Hang in there, everybody. We're getting into a long, cold winter, and hopefully connecting with other human beings will help make that a little bit brighter and warmer for us all. Until next time, bye.
Bye.